to all the party people in the place to be. We hope you're doing well on this fine day, evening, night, morning, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are. We hope that you're happy. We are picking up with the second part of our Mars video. Um, just to kind of recap what we did in the last one, we built the first two pieces of the Mars relic, and then now we're going to try to do, if I can figure out how to get up the stairs, now we're going to try to do the last two pieces on my own Mars build over here. As you guys can see, we've got, look at that, man. We've got 3 full chests of Mars ready to go. We've got a couple extra on the line. So while it's a big build, it is producing pretty well. So yeah, let's get back into the build side of it. So let's get back out here on the outside where we were. So as you guys remember, we made the 240 nails per minute, and we made the 120 per minute steel gears. This is only a third of it, so we need 3 of these machines to get the full 120 belt of steel gears. But yeah, that's essentially in the last video. So in this video, we want to try to do the bronze rivets, and we want to go for the copper bearings. And so the way that I did it for my Mars is I reused this build over here, where we're making the impure copper powder. So I reused this build to make the bronze rivets. And so just to look at it in action on the one that's actually running. This one, yeah, that's the right floor. This is the right floor. So to look at the one that's actually running, so this over here is the bronze rivets right here. And so what we did was we took the same steel gear build that we did in the last video, and we just added the part that makes the impure copper with the cauldrons. And so this takes 4 of those machines to make all that. So let's go put that together. So to make the bronze rivets, we're going to take this same machine that we built in the last video that's making the steel gears. And let's just make sure we get everything here. And grab these. There we go. That's everything. All right. And we're going to copy that. We'll paste it brand new. We need what? 2 sigils. We need nails. We need bricks. We need steel gears. Okay. Sigils, nails, bricks, and steel gears. Bricks. And steel gears. And nails. And sigils. Over here in the house. All right, 1, 2, there we go. Take the shortcut over here. All right. So let's try this again, and we'll take this guy. And so what we did is we took, on my setup, we took the steel gears thing. So now we're creating the steel gears. And then if you remember right, this is 22.5 steel gears per minute, because it's 4 on here at 7.5 each. I'm sorry. That's 15 and 15. This is 30. My math is off. So 7.5 is 14 plus 0.5 is 15. 15 and 15 is 30. So that's 30 per minute steel gears right there. And then what we did is we came over here to this build. and we grabbed this part right here. So let's grab that. What is this thing doing? It's not doing what I want it to do. All right, we're just going to copy that. We're missing 2 sigils. I should always just keep like 20 sigils on me, honestly. I feel like I always got to go get them. And I could just set up a portal and like just have the portal output them. I don't know why I don't do that. I think, you know, because what I could do is in like different parts of the base, I could just put a thing down like this, and I could just set this to like give me portals, you know, and then it'll pull the money in, and then the portals will come out of there, and I can just grab them from there and not have to run all the way across the way. But yeah, so let's put this, let's go here. Let's throw this down. All right, cool. So we took this part, and so this is the cauldron, and what the cauldron is doing is steel gears, wooden planks, and large gears. And that's making impure copper powder at 18.5 per minute. Okay? And so if we look at bronze rivets right here, now I'm out of wood because I stuck all my wood in here. Hold on. Let me just go grab some wood from over here. There. All right. All right, let's try this again. So, bronze rivets. We get a processor. We throw that down. We hit this, and we set it to bronze rivets. And we see that 10 bars in makes 30 bronze rivets, right? And we need 240 bronze rivets, right? So that's 30, 60, 90, 120. And then we'll get a little lab stand going here, the big one, right? And we'll put those like this. And then double it. So 30, 60, 90, 120. So that's 240. So that's the 240 that we need. And so let's work backwards into this, right? So it's 10N gives me 30. And this cauldron is basically, it's making 18.5. It's almost making 20. So what I ended up doing was I doubled the cauldron build, right? This guy can support, this guy's doing 60 per minute. So he'll go 30 and 30. This guy's doing 60 per minute, but the grinder is doing 20. So what we need to do is redo the grinder section. So what I found was the easy way to do this is I took this apart from the way that I had done it before. Like so. And so what I did here was I did the end of the day. No. So what I did is I put this here, and I used the bottom one for the grinder instead of going to the top like I did in the original build. So what we can do is we put 1, 2 grinders there, like so. We do that, and then we put those 2 back together, like this. And then we get an elevator, and we bring that up to that guy. And then that's 20, and that's 40. So it's going to go 20 and 20 to each one. And remember, as long as we do more than 18 for each one of these, we're going to be fine. In terms of the cauldron being stable and not providing a recipe that we didn't ask for. And so we'll put that there, and then we will get this here. Put that there. And then we will get this elevator, and we'll go there like that. And one more lab stand, and there we go. So that's 20 and 20 going to each cauldron of the large wooden gears. And so now we just need the wooden planks. So we'll put that there. And then this guy will go here. And then that will be that way. The wrong button. There we go. And so now what we'll do is we will put more blocks right here. And I think, yep, that's the way we want it. And then we just get a little elevator, rotate that. That guy goes there. And then this guy and that guy. And then the last elevator here, like so. All right. And so now this is producing 18.5 twice because we've got 2 cauldrons on there. So if we pull out the calculator real fast and we get 18.5 times 2 is 37. So we're 3 short of having 40, right? So the decision that I made was I'll just underfeed the Mars build a little bit just because the build is already so big. And so massive that like I don't want. So then we can just bring this over here and stick that there like that. And then let me just get rid of this. There we go. Get rid of all that. All right. So, whoops, I put that too close. All right, I still got to build the other side. All right, let's get all that. Yep, that's there. Let me just move that and make a little bit more room. Okay, there we go. So I'm pretending that this is making is 20 and 20. Good. So I'm pretending this is making 20. So it's gonna be underfeeding the build a little bit. But I'm okay with that because the alternative is to overproduce it. And as big as these machines are and as much space as they're taking up, I said, you know what, I'll just underfeed it a little bit. So we're gonna pretend that this is doing 20 and that's doing 20, right? So that means this one machine can do 10, 20, 30, 40. So that's gonna feed 4 of these guys, right? So what we'll do is we'll take our steel gears and we'll bring them over here, right? And I'll just weave this in some kind of way. And then we'll grab this like this and we'll just do this to bring it up. So feed that in there. And then it's lab stand, lab stand. That's going in the first cauldron. And then lab stand, lab stand. And this is going in the second cauldron. So we'll do that. We do this. There we go. And then that feeds in all the steel gears. And so the steel gears are coming in at, remember, there's 3 of these guys. My bad. So I did have it right. So that's 7, 14, 21. That's 22.5 on the bottom. And then that's 22.5 on the top. So that's 45. So we're sending 22.5 to this cauldron, and we're sending 22.5 to that cauldron. And then on the wood gears, we're sending 30 and 30. And on the grinder, we're sending 20 and 20. So we're sending the same level of ingredients to the cauldrons. So the recipe should stay consistent. We do have the filter splitter down here, filtered to the impure copper powder, just to be safe, because anything not that is just going to go in the trash. But we should never make anything not impure copper powder because the volume that we're sending to the cauldrons is at a level that's higher than what it's producing out, which is the 18.5. So as long as we're doing more than 18.5, we're fine and the recipe will always be intact. All right, so now we've done all that. Now we just have to hook this guy up. So we'll come down here to this guy. This is now... let's just call it 40 per minute so it all fits on one belt, which is great. And then we will put that into here. Like, oops. Let me do this. Let me just do this. All right. So that's going to feed the bottom row. And again, we're short by 3 impure copper powders, but you know, like I said, we'll underfeed it. It'll be fine. So that's going to take care of that bottom row. And so then all we need to do is we just need to duplicate this whole build, create a second one, and then the second one will just come in and feed the top row. So, you know, we'll do that. We'll do that, and then the second machine will just come in and feed that top row like that. And so because we're short on space, I'm not going to actually build both machines, but you know, again, all you would do is you would just take this and then you would just copy that and you would paste it again, and then that's your second machine, and then that would feed these guys. And so now you have two belts of 120 copper rivets. So then that's one belt of copper rivets, and then you could, you know, do lab stands, and then you could do a second belt, right? And then you could do an elevator. It all depends. This is where it's kind of your personal preference and what you like doing, but you can. So there's our 2 belts of 120 copper rivets, and so that gives us the 240. And so if we want to go look at that in action in the actual build, we can run over here, and that's wrong. Wrong floor. Let's get up here, and Mars. Here we go. So yeah, so right here I've got these 2. So this over here is just the coke powder for the blast furnaces. So it's just running the fuel for that. But yeah, so here it is. Here's the 45 per minute steel gears coming out. And you look at the trash can, it's fine. Nothing, you know, wrong is coming out. And all these guys are maxed out. So we're maxed out at the 600, the 100, and the 200. It's making the 18 impure copper. The impure copper is running along these 2 belts. And, oh, we forgot this step. Oh, because we got to make it into ingots. That's right. So now we have a blast furnace that has the stackable cauldrons on it. And the stackable cauldrons are doing 10 per minute. So it's 40 per minute per line, right? That's making the ingots. And then the ingots is going through the same stack of processors that we had before. And then there's our 2 belts of 120 rivets coming in. And yeah, that's that part. So I forgot the stackable crucible part. Okay. So you do have 2 options. You could do a blast furnace right here, like I have it here. The other option is you can do just 2 regular furnaces, and you can do the stackable crucibles that way. The problem is, if you remember, these guys are producing 18 and 18. So that's, you know, 37, which is almost 40. And so these are doing 10 per minute. So you're going to need 4 of these for the bronze rivets. So if you did use these regular furnaces here, you would have to, you know, stack 1 additional one, which is doable. But you could do it that way. All right, so we forgot all about that part, man. What a day, what a day. Yep. So what I did is I stacked, if you guys noticed, I stacked these 2 machines side by side like that. And then I had one section where I had the blast furnace that I shared for both machines. So then if we come over here, I had a stackable crucible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so then what happened was what we did was this. And so the 2 machines came in this way. And then let's go this and this and this. And that, there we go. And I had 2 belts coming in, so Nope. So let's get this guy down. And then he goes up here. All right. And then we do that. Yep. And then this guy goes here like that. And then what happened was we had this elevator here. And then the second belt came in from the second machine. And it went in like that. And so that's how the impure copper powder was coming in. And then it comes out as ingots. And so again, it's 120 belts. So there's one. So that's one. And then we can do this for the second one. Like so. And then that way, this guy comes down like this. And then that goes into the belt. So that's the actual how it works. And so then for this right here, we would just do another elevator here up to that guy. We would bring this down to here. And then we just elevator him up here. Like so. Elevator. Come on. Every time I hit R to rotate it, it makes the thing jump. Up. R. There we go. Oh, no. 8. That's what I want. There we go. Finally got it working. All right. So that's our 2 belts of copper ingots, and then the bronze ingots, and then the bronze ingots get made into the bronze rivet. So that's our 240. So then we could just take these over here for the shaper. I know this is ugly as all get out. Let's just do this. Make room over here. And then that guy will go there. I don't know why it did that. It actually put the belts under the thing. That's crazy. It was acting like belts were under these guys. Anyway, so then this guy can come out of here. Let's do this. Make sure that's a valid. Let's do that. And then we'll come in here like so. Obviously, this is not how I did mine. I'm just connecting it. But then, yeah, and then this guy would come out, elevator down, and then he would go connect also. So I think you guys get the idea there. So that's our 240 bronze rivets machines, and then the copper bearings is the exact same machine. So the difference between this machine and the copper bearings machine is on the copper bearings. Let's come over here and we'll put that like right here. So on the copper bearings machine, let's just get the processor again. We'll work kind of backwards. So we hit this, we set this to copper bearings, and we see that it's 10 in and 20 out. Right? So we need 120 copper bearings. So that's 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. So we need 6 of these, right? And so to save on space, we can just grab these lab stands. 1, 2, 3. So that's 20, 40, 60. And then take those 3 and slap those up there. And so then we just need these 6 machines. And so it's 10 in and it's 20 out. And so the interesting thing about the copper bearings part is, so we do need this same build of steel gears coming into this same set of cauldrons. And then we bring this back, come up here, and then let's copy this guy. And we'll come over here. And we'll talk about how this thing is different for copper bearings. So this guy's producing the same 37 per minute from the 2 cauldrons. So let me get my materials here. So we got our steel gears, our planks, and our large gears. Okay. Why did that not work? All right, there we go. So this is 18 and 18. So that's our same 37 per minute impure copper, right? And so the same thing's going to happen here. We're going to underfeed this by a little bit, and that's fine. I'm okay with underfeeding it by that small little margin versus building an entirely additional machine to overfeed it, and then I'm taking up that much more space. So what's going to happen is that we're just going to say 20 and 40 on those cauldrons. And so this is going to be 10, 20, and then that's going to be 30, 40, and then that's 10, and that's 20. So we're good to go with those 3 machines. And so the only difference is this is impure copper powder. And so in order to make copper ingots, we need to make it copper powder. And so we do that by having a refiner. So let me get my materials back here so I can build. And so what we got to do, the one additional step for the copper bearings is we have to get the refiner right here. We put that down, and that's going to refine the impure copper powder into copper powder. And then once we have it refined, then we just do the same thing. We run it into the blast furnace. And so we'll grab a furnace here, and then we will get stackable crucibles. 1, 2, 3. And then we throw this down, and this down, and this down. And then that is our... That's one of our belts. So we do this, we do this, we do this. And then let's bring that in, and then we'll just stick this elevator here. And you guys kind of get all this. And so that's the going through here, that's going to create the copper ingots. And then once we have the copper ingots, rotate that into here. And then once that has copper ingots, then we can come through here and we can do the processors. Like so. Now, we're actually going to need a couple more of these machines. And the reason why is the refiner. And let's go take a look at the refiner real quick, since this guy over here is running. So if you notice, we needed 2 machines to do the bronze rivets, and that's because the processors are doing 30 per for bronze rivets. They're only doing 20 per for the copper bearings right here. The issue is that this refiner, it needs to take 2 impure copper powders to make them into copper powder. So when we say that this cauldron is this cauldron is making 18, let's just call it 20. This cauldron is making 20, right? But the refiner is 2 to 1. So that means in reality, this is making 20 impure copper powder, 18.5, but again, we're rounding up. It's making 20 impure copper powder, but it's really only making 10 copper powder because the refiner is 2 to 1. So that's 10, 20. This is 30, 40. And then this is 50, 60. So we need 3 of the machines to make the copper powder right here. And so then that gives us our 120 copper bearings, because they come in here, they go through the crucibles like we have them. They come out this side as copper ingots. They go through the processor to be copper bearings. And then here is our one belt of 120 copper bearing. It's actually not. It's like 118, 116, something like that. So we're off by a couple ingot for the copper bearings. We're off by a couple ingot for the bronze rivets. But then, as far as the Mars build goes, you watch it. It's like, because we have these buffers, we let the buffers build up. it's just got a little bit of a skip. So that one's good. That one's good. That one's good. And you watch, it just gets a little bit of a skip right there. So like every third or fourth one, we get a little bit of a skip when it's making the Mars. But it's still making it at a really good pace. Because we have our 2 in the storage box. You know, we've got the 1, 2 here that aren't in the storage box but count. This guy is full, and then all 3 of those guys are full. And so that's the Mars build. Hopefully that all makes sense. I know I changed up the video style. Like normally I build every single piece and every single component, and we just go through it step by step. I did that on the Twitch live stream. If you want to see me build it in real time. To actually build the entire Mars machine, it took me, man, I want to say it was about an hour and some change to build all the machines. And then once we had all the machines built, when we turned them on, I had the Mars thing cut off. So I had these belts not connected like this, and I had that not connected like that. And then, you know, we had the other thing coming in here. But I didn't have it connected, and I let everything back up on all the lines. I let everything back up in, you know, the cauldrons. And so we had everything completely backed up. And then once everything was completely backed up, and if you remember, I had buffers. So we had buffers too on the build. So I transfer. All right, there we go. So we had buffers also on the build. And so I let all the buffers fill up completely. So I let all these things fill up completely. And then once everything was completely backed up, once the buffers were full, then I just came in and did this and connected everything into the Mars build, and we let the Mars build start cooking. So all in all, from on the Twitch live stream, the time it took me to build it and get it running with all the buffers and all of that, man, it was like 2.5 hours before it actually like started creating a Mars. So I didn't want to put that all in a YouTube video. I missed my jump, but I didn't want to stick all that in the YouTube video because that's just, it's a lot of dead time sitting around and watching. So I tried in this video to just show you guys what I did, especially since we were reusing stuff that we had already done, right? Like the nail build was new and we built all of that step by step, but the steel gears is what we copied from over here. So we built this like 2 or 3 YouTube videos ago. And so so if you want to get step by step how to build the steel gear machine, you know, you can go watch that and that build, right? So I didn't want to rehash that in this video. We did build the stackable step by step. And then all we do is we take this steel gear build and we copy it for the bronze rivets, and then we copy it for the steel gears. And then once we have we copy it for the bronze rivets, and we copy it for the copper bearings. So this same steel gear build, this is the heart of Mars. At least the way I did it. This is my heart of my Mars build. And that's what gets reused the most. And then we just took the same build that we did a couple of videos ago. Again, this is the build that makes the bronze ingots. And then we took the cauldron part and we just doubled the cauldron part. So we put 2 cauldrons stacked on top of each other. We kept the formula the same. And then we just had to reroute to the second cauldron, which is what we did over here. And then this cauldron build produces impure copper powder. That makes the impure copper ingots. And then those ingots get through the processors. And then that's our bronze rivets. And then all we do is we copy the same exact build for the copper bearings, and we just insert a refiner into that process. And so I know we didn't build all of that step by step, but I think everything should be clear. And we do have a step by step for that in a different YouTube video if you want to see it. But yeah, that's the Mars build. And so if we come up here, again, like I said, here's the copper bearings. It just has a refiner on the end before it sends out the powder. This is the bronze rivets. It's the exact same thing. It's just no refiner. And then the nails we got sitting over here in this corner. You know, we talked about that. And then this is just doing the 120 per minute steel gears. And again, all of that comes into the buffer boxes, comes into the Mars. And even though we're underfeeding on ingots for bronze and copper, like I said, it's still producing pretty quick. Just a little bit of a hitch every now and again when that underfeeding catches up to us. But I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that. And as you can see, like we're producing Mars, at a really good pace. All right. So that being said, now it's time to do our Mars upgrade. So let's take care of this upgrade stuff. So let me come in here. What time is it? Is it 8 in the morning or 8 at night? I think it's 8 in the morning. I don't want to shut down the factory in the middle of the day or at the beginning of the day, but maybe we do it anyway. Let me see if I can do any of these quests. That quest I can do. That guy I can do. This guy I can do. And that one I can't do. All right. So let's get that. So yeah, here we got our Mars in the store now. So that's fantastic. Enjoying that. What do we need here? We need wooden pulleys. 1, 2, twice. So we need 90. 90 is 180. All right. Wooden pulleys. So that's 50, 100, 50, 200. All right. We'll just take that. Transformation potion brick. I need 60. We'll just take 200. Rivets. We'll just take 200. Malachite. We'll take 50. All right. And then, wait, what did I just take? Oh, that wasn't malachite. That was turquoise. Malachite transformation potion. Okay, so transformation potions over here on the end. All right, let's grab 100. And then malachite we have to go upstairs for. So let's get up here. Malachite's over here. And malachite, yeah. All right, I'll just take 50. All right. I'll go turn all these in. And see, that one we can do. I hate that it takes me out of the mailbox when I turn a thing in. Just like leave me there until I'm done. I'll close it myself. All right. All those quests are done. You know what? We're just going to YOLO and do the Mars upgrade. So let's go for it. Get up to the Mars floor here. All right, we're up on the Mars floor. Let's just do it. All right, so let's get everything prepped. So here, I got way too much inventory on me. So let's drop these in here. Let's see, glass. I can put the pulleys in there. I got a potion box here. Let's put the potions in there. This guy can take the mushrooms. You can put the clay in there. Linen bandages, that works. And then this is like all the miscellaneous stuff. Black powder, turquoise. Let's see, can we grab that out of there? All right, and put those in there. Perfect. And then let me just get a random box. And we'll just put this stuff in here. Get another random box. Oh, I put all my iron. All right, put this in there. There we go. Another random box. And that guy, that guy. All right, we'll keep the money on us. All right, there we go. Make room to hold all this stuff. All right, let's go over here and let's see if we can get rid of that. That's 20. And we should be able to hold another one. That's 40. All right, so we'll get this guy in here. We got 10 knowledge altars. So let's just put 3 and 2, 3. Let's do 4 in each. That's 40. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. There's 4 in each right there. And then let's go ahead and close this guy out. And that gives us 18, 19, 20. And so what's happening on this priority splitter is once this guy's backed up, it sends it to the store. So what we're going to do is we're just going to delete this now because we don't need that. And we'll just put this. I don't have any nails on me. All right. I don't have any wood on me. I do have wood on me. All right. Let's just do that. And I don't have any rope. Okay. All right. So we'll fix that in a minute. We're going to take care of this first. All right. So we have 4, 2. Let's see. Let's just do 2 in each. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Lots of Mars. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And then this guy will just get 1, 2, 3. All right, perfect. All right, so all of our Mars are set up, ready to go. We're ready to do the reset. So let's go in here. Let's go to our research and our upgrades. If we reset points, it is 32 silver. So I think it goes to 64 after this. So we have plenty of money. All right, so let's just shrink this down a little bit so we can see. We're going to throw everything into knowledge relics. We're going to bring the factory to a halt when we do this, but it's fine. It'll be worth it for the upgrades. All right. So currently we're sitting on everything has 4, plus we have an extra one. So I was at 4, 8, 12, 24, 36, 37. So we're starting with 37 points. Let's see how many we have at the end of this. So we're going to reset and confirm. And then we're going to put everything in relic knowledge. You guys have seen this before. This is what we did with Mercury. This is what we did with Venus. So we're going to confirm those 25. And then now we're just going to do this. I said confirm 25. It was 12. My bad. This one, like, I wish you could do... Oh, I can? Oh, I can stack them. I didn't know that. Oh, nice. Oh, cool. Okay. There we go. So we're at our 37. Everything is in relic knowledge. Look how slow the belts are moving. Let's hook these guys up. That guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, that guy, that guy. Oh, no, I'm out of wood. All right, we got to remember to go back and fix that. Here, this guy, no, that guy. We're throwing. All right, there we go. All right, all those guys are connected now, and all the knowledge altars are working. And so we'll just view this. And like again, as this goes up and as we get points, we're just going to keep putting those points back into relic knowledge. And so there we go. Some of these guys are finishing their thing. 25, 26. There we go. We got a point. And we're going to allocate that into relic knowledge and confirm. And then every time we get a point, we're just going to pop it in there. We're going to pop it in there and not hit reset points. We're going to pop it in there and hit confirm. And we're getting up there on XP, man. We're at 3,000. Yeah, this is gonna take a minute, man. We got we got like what 40 something of these Mars. Man, this could have been like its whole own video. Was to do these Mars things because this is gonna take a minute. Hopefully to start going faster as we put more and more points into relic knowledge. There we go. Let's put that in there and confirm. And then this guy right here, he's still got there's one guy in the box. Everybody else is on the belt. And so it's taken 24 seconds to do how much percentage? 20%. So 5 times 24 is what? 120? So 120 seconds. So 2 minutes to get rid of a single Mars. And so we had 7 in this box. So 7 times 2 is 14 minutes. So yeah, it's going to take about 14, 15 minutes for us to get through all of our Mars. We have a new skill point while I was talking. Throw that in there. And yeah, there it goes. They're all finishing together. So the first part of the 2 minutes is a little bit slow. And then once it finishes, they start finishing in succession because the way I laid the belts down. And then that's when we get the big jump. So we should get another point once this finishes here. And then it should start going boom, 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 boom. Until we get to the point where I messed up the belts. I ran out of wood. And that's why you get the little hesitation here. And then it's like a boom, boom after that. But you guys saw that. There we go. Click on that and click on that. And so we're at 29 plus 12. So that's 39, 41. So we've gotten 4 upgrades so far out of this. But hopefully we'll get enough out of this where we can up our belt speeds to 240 and then we can up our factory to an additional 100%. So basically 8 in belts and 8 in factory. That would be ideal if we can put our points in there for that. All right, so rather than watch paint dry, so all of that, this box is empty, so I'm going to delete this box. I'm going to get this wood, and we're going to put that back before we forget. All right, we got another point. Throw that in there. There we go. So now we're at 42 total points. In a perfect world, I'd be able to do 8 and 8. That's 16. I would love to do 8 here. That would be 32. But then I gotta I gotta get money in sales too, so we can make money. Let's see, that guy's empty. We'll just delete him. He's empty. We'll delete him. Just go ahead and do some maintenance while we're waiting. All right, and get rid of this guy. And get rid of that guy. Get rid of him. All right, nice. There we go. And so we got 1 in the machine, and we got 3 waiting on those guys. These guys have 2 waiting. And so this is where I messed up, and I ran out of wood. That's why those guys are a little bit behind. But yeah, you guys have seen this. We did the same thing for Saturn. We did the same thing for Jupiter, where we dumped all of our stuff in relic knowledge. So we'll hit that and confirm. Cool. All right, and then this guy. Do we have wood on us now? We needed rope. Let's go get rope so we can hook the Mars back up to the store. So we can grab our stuff back. Actually, we can just grab this back and grab that back and get all of our inventory back. We just needed to make space to hold all those Mars because they take up so much inventory space because it's one per slot. And then here, there we go. Transfer that and rotate that. There we go. And now we're sending Mars back into the store. And then where are we at? Now we're at 4,500, man. This thing just keeps going too. It's gonna be crazy. When we get to the later relics, how much XP. We got a new skill point. It didn't make the noise, but it did give us the visual notification. We'll throw that in there. And so our relic knowledge bonus, this is plus 320%, and then that's 120 because it's 10 per. So we're at 440% relic knowledge bonus, which is why we do that. It's expensive when you reset. It's expensive, but I feel like it's worth it. All right, cool. We can get rid of these. We can get rid of those. Perf. Oh, no, no, no. Why did that count as the belt? Oh, man. I just got too far ahead of myself. All right. Let's throw these back on here. All right. I'll just put that on there. I won't put 1 and 1. Just do that. There we go. And this guy. And that guy we can get rid of. And now these guys should be empty. Yep. Okay. I should have did 1 and 1 because now these altars are going to be done and these guys are going to be backed up. But, I'm just, you know how every time I do one of these, I mess something up. You guys have seen it. So it wouldn't be the same if I didn't. That guy and this guy are going. I'll just drag it out just a little bit longer. I know not to leave these belts now because that's going to make those guys disappear. And this guy's about to be done. I think there's no more left on these two. So that the light should go out on these two, and then those altars will be done. And now we're in the 5,000s. Yeah, so that guy's done. That guy's done. So we'll just delete these two. Get our stone back. This guy we can delete now because there's nothing waiting. Okay. So he's on his last one. He's on his last one. Yeah, these guys are all on their last ones. So we can get rid of those. And, yep, there we go. They're all at the 100%. That guy's a little bit ahead at 20% off. And we're still getting to 5,200. And then I can't delete those 3 belts because then those 3 will go away. All right, we got another point. We'll hit that. We'll confirm. We're up to 34 plus 12. So we're at 46 now. So like I said, hopefully we got enough to get belt speed to 240. If nothing else, we'll get belt speed to 240. And then that guy's at 80, 60, 60, 60. So he's at 40. Yeah. All right. And then these guys still got a couple to go. 40, 40, 40. And then they got a whole nother one to go. So this guy will finish next. And we got to get the fit. So it went from 5,200 to 5,600. So it only went up like 400 XP. So that's not too bad. And then each Mars, we can get a total, I think, of 141 XP. in total, and it gives it to us in 20% chunks. We can watch this guy just to make sure that's correct. So, all right, here's where it's going to finish. 141. Yeah, so 141 is the total for Mars. And I think we can see that here. If we come here and we go to goods. And I think here it's, yeah, obtainable XP was 10. We're at plus 46 because of our putting all of our stuff in relic knowledge. Saturn was 71, where that would be at plus 328. Mars is 126, but we're getting plus 579 because of the relic knowledge bonus. And then I don't know if it shows us. The next one we need to do is Venus. So that's the one here on level 7. This one is 2,856 XP. So that'll be decent. This guy is done. Get rid of him. These guys are done. Yep. He's done, and he's done. Alright, so we can get rid of those, and then we're just waiting on these guys. We can get rid of these belts now, finally. And then he's at 40, he's at 40, he's at 40. We just got another point. Upgrade here and confirm. Alright, so we're at 47. That's probably where we're going to end up. We're probably not going to get better than 47. Yeah, we're at 53 right now. We're not going to make it to 6,000. So I'm still going to maximize the XP that I'm gaining with the relic knowledge. So we'll wait until these are completely finished. They're all at 20%. So they're almost done. And then we'll delete them and do the reset. And we'll put all of our stuff back. It should go 1, 2, 3 pretty quick. Yep, that guy's done. That guy's done. That guy's done. All right, cool. All right, so we finished all of our relic knowledge. So we'll come in. We'll reset the points. Yep, 64 silver. Confirm. And then let's get our stuff back to going. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Let's get these going again. Let's get these going again. Sales we definitely need. All right. The quest rewards I definitely want. We got 15 and we need 16. So what we'll do is I'm going to take out this guy. That's 16. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 there. All right. Confirm that. Okay, we still got 8 points left. Okay, great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll confirm that. So now we're back to everything is 4. And then we have an additional 4 on our belts. We have additional 4 on factory efficiency. And we still have 3 points left. I am going to put 1, 2, and 3 in sales ability so we can make more money. And we'll confirm that like that. There we go. All right, cool. All right. Because I didn't want to do this one unless I could do all 4. Because the math, right? So now if we come in and we look at everything, now our belt speed is 180. Oh, I thought it was going to get us to 240, but it got us to 180. All right. So our belt speeds are now 180. Our factory production is now 300%. And we've got our heat and our nutrient value to 150%. So yeah, overall, we got to recheck all of our builds now. And that's the unfortunate part about what we just did is now we just need to confirm all of our math is still good. So now this guy is making 27.7 per minute copper powder. But if we come over here and look at the Mars build, now this is 360, 180, 360, 180. So we need to make sure all the math on all our builds is correct. It should be. If we built everything correctly, it should scale perfectly without us needing to touch everything. So these were doing 7.5, now they're doing 11.2. So 11.2 is see, that's 33.246. And so 33 and 33 is now 66 0.6.6, so that's 67 0.2. And so that'll be 30 and 30 basically. These guys are now doing 90 per minute, so now that's 45 and 45. These guys are now doing 30 per minute, so now that's 30 and 30. So everything should be fine on all of our builds. Like right now I'm just checking Mars, but I really need to go through and double check everything and make sure everything is doing okay. This is where I was goofing around, so we can get rid of that because that's nonsense. This is where so what I was doing here was trying to deal with fuel for the so I have a bunch like the problem with the Mars build that I found is there's a ton of the way I built it. I have a bunch of these blast furnaces, and the blast furnaces burn a lot of fuel. And so I ended up actually having to upgrade to black powder for this floor because the coke powder was just insane. So I have 2 black powder machines. This guy's making 2 cauldrons worth right here, and then this guy over here is making 1 cauldron worth. And as you can see, the line is not backed up. You know, so it's producing just enough to keeping the thing running with those 3 machines making black powder. I may delete this machine here and then copy that and paste it there. So at least that way I'm doing 2 and 2. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video, man. This video is long. It went over an hour, but we finished the part 2 of the build for Mars, and then we did our big giant XP upgrade, and we upgraded all of our belt speed and factory efficiency. And now we have the long journey of checking all of our builds and making sure that we did in fact build them correctly, and we do have all the ratios correct, and everything is still performing, if not at maximum efficiency, at the acceptable efficiency that we wanted. And I say acceptable because like Mars, we were purposely underfeeding the Mars build, right, by a few ingot because we didn't want to, we didn't want to make 3 of those machines. We didn't want to make 4 of those machines because, as you can tell, man, it's a lot of space, I was hoping to try to get 2 Mars machines on this floor, but we'll see what we can do to refine the build and make it a little more compact and get everything a little bit tighter. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for hanging out and checking out and watching. We're over an hour, so if you're still here listening to the sound of my voice, you are a true G. We appreciate your love and support for the channel. We will catch all of you in the next one. Peace out.